Hello and welcome to SEGA News Bits Extra. I'm Barry, with me is George.
Hello everybody.
And this is a preview of our weekly Patreon exclusive extra show. So at the beginning of each month, we put out a free episode of this, and if you want to see this weekly, you can support us. Or not, but you should. So, let's get right into it. It's Halloween as we are being played to you, and that means that Sega Ages Phantasy Star has been released. Now, this, I feel, has been a long time coming. I feel like we've been talking about Sega Ages a lot, and I'm not a Switch owner, so have the games been steadily releasing, George?
There's just been 2 games released, the Sonic 1 and Thunder Force 4, or Lightning Force in the US.
Okay.
And, you know, they're good releases. I just feel like, I don't know, most people just slept on them because of the price tag. They're $8. This is a Master System game, but I feel like this game really doesn't get enough, I guess, ports. Like, usually when they bring over the Phantasy Star games, they always skip this one.
Yeah, and it's got some good stuff here. I mean, it's got the ability to listen to both the PSG and FM sounds, optional mapping system for dungeons in easy mode for novices, a special encyclopedia called the Monster Codex, which allows you to view the sprites, stats, and descriptions of different enemies. So I'm going to say this is the first one really worth the price.
I would say it could be worth the price if you're a hardcore fan. If you never played Phantasy Star, I would say play 4 instead of this one, because I think there's a lot of things on this that haven't aged well, but it's still a pretty fantastic release, and I'm going to buy it, obviously, because I like Phantasy Star. You don't have a Switch, but if you had a Switch, would you buy this?
Yeah, for sure. This would be the first one that I'd actually get, like, day one. It looks awesome, and it's, like you said, you know, it's a game that doesn't get released too often, and I think it's perfect for the, you know, the portable Switch.
For sure.
All right. Moving on to the next piece of news, we have the PlayStation Classic. Why are we talking about this? Well, there actually is a Sega connection, kind of. So, you know, Sega owns Atlas, and on the PlayStation Classic is going to be the first Persona game. But this is not just your straight up, you know, like Japanese translation, really. It's called Revelations Persona. This was released back in 1996 for the PlayStation, and it's heavily localized. Characters' names are changed, designs are changed, apparently an entire, like, I said a removal of a quest in the news story, but someone in the comments was like, no, it's more than a quest! And, you know, I'm not a big Persona fan, so I'm sorry I didn't know that. I never called it a side quest, though, like they said I did, so. But, yeah, they said it's a good 15 to 20 hours of gameplay missing from the Japanese version. Still, it's a rare game, and do you think this is worth playing, George?
You know, I've never played the first Persona game in my life, but I kind of want to. If I bought the PlayStation Classic, it would be for this announcement because it was a surprise to me. I've always wanted to play the first Persona game. I started playing Persona when 3 came out, and that's kind of where a lot of people I know started playing the franchise, so I would like to go back. I heard that it's not the same at all. Like, 3 changed everything for the Persona series, but I would still like to go play because I like the whole, like, horror demon aspect of the games, so it would be something I would be into. Very edgy game.
Cool. Yeah, I do want to pick this up just because I don't have really any of the games in the lineup, and to get the first Persona would be pretty cool, despite it being not the preferred version of the first game. This next bit of news...
But I wanted to say one thing before we did. What was your overall impressions of the lineup outside just... Not Persona, I'm just saying, like, the all 20. What do you think of them? Because I've heard mixed opinions from a lot of people.
Yeah, it really shows that they're trying not to replicate some of their more recent re-releases. Like, there's no Crash, there's no Spyro. I'm surprised because I thought this would be catering to the more casual fan who would just be like, I don't have a PS4, I just want the games that I remember. But it really looks like they're catering to people who own a PS4 and already have, you know, like I mentioned, Crash, Spyro, a lot of the other games. There's some clunkers on here, like Rainbow Six. It's not a great game that holds up today, I don't think. Plus the Dreamcast version's like $5.
It's pretty good. I mean, I still think it's decent, but like I would have probably switched Persona for another like Sony created JRPG because they had so many at the time, like Jade Cocoon or something. But Since this is not the best version of Persona, that's why. But yeah.
This next bit of news, it's a short one, but there was a TV spot for the upcoming Ralph Breaks the Internet, which I think is the stupidest title for a sequel. It should have been called Ralph Wrecks the Internet. But in any case, this is the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. They go onto the internet, and they showed a little clip where Sonic is performed by Roger Craig Smith. The animation's really fluid, it looks really nice. And it's just like a little joke about how Ralph can't pronounce Wi-Fi, and Sonic corrects him. And I feel like this is something that's going to happen very early on, and we're probably not going to see many video game references after this. But it's cool to see, but it's basically seeing Sonic's cameo, so it's not a surprise now.
Yeah, I like it. I like that Roger's obviously voicing it, and I know a lot of people didn't like the fact that me and you were kind of like outspoken about this whole Paramount movie deal thing. But it's cool that Disney uses the video game version of Sonic. It would be weird, right, if this cameo is just the new voice actor for the Paramount movie?
Yeah, that would be shitty. I'd feel really bad for Roger if that was the case.
But yeah, it was a cool cameo. This movie looks, I guess, okay. I don't know, something about it is really throwing me off. Maybe I really like the retro arcade aspect of the first movie. That this whole app thing is not really for me because we're still living in this era, right? The app era.
Yeah.
So it's not nostalgic like retro arcades are.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll go see it, but yeah, it's definitely showing that the studio executives were like, can we tone down the classic video games and talk about the internet? Because that's more trendy. Like Facebook, like who cares?
The sequel should have been like 90s retro arcade, consoles.
Right.
And then like the next one could have been like the early web. And then
the dark
started
web.
Going apps.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway.
Ralph Goes Dark. This is the last bit of news. So Team Sonic Racing, we've had a track reveal, and it's pretty cool. So it's a music track for a track in the game called Boo's House. And who's Boo? Well, it's King Boom Boo from Sonic Adventure 2, who was in the, Pyramid Cave track. Or actually, no, I always get confused by those because it's an area, but there's multiple stages throughout the game. So there's like Pyramid Cave. I forgot what Boo appears in. He's just like in his own boss area. But
you have to go around in circles or whatever, and there's like little things that come out. That boss, right? The ghost?
Yeah, the ghost. So it takes elements of Sandopolis and elements of Sonic Adventure 2, combines them into a racetrack, has Boo flying around, and has a Sandopolis remix from Jun Sano and T. Lopes, as well as a violin by, Tai Sena. I don't know what that is, but good for them. But this looks great. This is what I want to see from every track. I don't want to see just like bland ice zone, I want to see references to Sonic stages. So what do you guys think about this week's news? And if you want to support us, again, you can check us out on Patreon. We have different tiers, different perks, and we've got this show every week. And that's about it. So thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.
There we go.